This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Good evening. Welcome to Headlines Now on Ndtv-Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew.
Good news for those of you who travel by the suburban railways. I'm Lokpriya and I'll get you the details in a short while.
We'll get all of that in detail in a while, but first the headlines. Private engineering colleges in the state can now heave a huge sigh of relief. The binding AICTE norms to be enforced only next year.
There will be no difficulty at all for the institutions to follow the new regulations for the next year.
After a close encounter at Villupuram, there's no more room for security lapses. 15,000 police personnel will line the railway tracks.
No section which is without this daily patrol.
Jayalalitha slams the DMK, says probe into her tea gardens has been politically motivated. A ray of hope for cases of medical negligence. The Supreme Court now says expert evidence is no longer necessary. Vijay's Kavalkaran gets no protection. Flop after flop, his 51st flick runs into copyrights issue. And all hope for the Asians in this World Cup are out. Japan has a tearful exit, going down to Paraguay in penalties. Now, the Villupuram track blast case was a close shave, but learning from that instance and not ready to take any chances, 15,000 policemen have been ordered to be on duty for patrolling. The General Manager of the Southern Railways also announced that they will carry walkie-talkies to report any incidents that could possibly put passengers on risk.
We are working out on various strategies as to what are the possibilities of this thing, and jointly between railways and the police, we are doing patrolling of the track wherever we suspect any mischief. And in any case, even on those tracks where we do not suspect any mischief, we do have some kind of extra patrolling going on. Every inch of the railway track is being patrolled at least once a day. And at least 90% of the railway track is being patrolled at least twice a day.
Well, your weekend with that security trip will be that's going to the famous pilgrimage Tiruthanni will no more be hassle-free. The Chennai Beach, Tiruthanni, Chennai Central is one of the 4 new suburban train services that will be introduced shortly. Almost 1 lakh train passengers will benefit from these new services. Now let's bring in our reporter Lokpriya for the new routes and the numbers you might have to keep in mind. Lokpriya, more than anything else, suburban travellers really having a reason to rejoice, right?
Yes, Evelyn, absolutely. Suburban travellers are the most privileged lot of this decision taken by the Southern Railways. Almost 1 lakh suburban passengers will benefit out of this. And if you take the new routes, if we can give it to you, 4 new suburban train services will be introduced. The routes will be Chennai Central, Sulurpet to Chennai Beach, Chennai Beach, Velachery to Chennai Beach, Chennai Beach, Tiruthanni to Chennai Central, and Chennai Central to Arakonam, which will be a super fast train. Along with these 4 suburban trains, also 2 more Duronto trains have been introduced. Chennai Coimbatore, which will be 6 days a week, and Ernakulam to Lokmanya Tilak, which will be a bi-weekly. These 2 are the major announcements that came in from the press conference today that was held by the General Manager of the Southern Railways. Evelyn?
All right, now after the Villupuram close shave and even Naxal attacks at the railways, safety and security has been for long been a problem plaguing the rail networks. Is there any kind of fresh arrangement now?
Yes, Evelyn, the General Manager of the Southern Railways met with the DGP of Tamil Nadu to discuss about the safety aspects to safeguard the railway tracks. And in their meeting, the outcome came was that 15,000 policemen have been deployed in and around the railway tracks to safeguard the tracks so that any kind of mishap can be prevented. This is a huge number considering the fact that the sprawling network of railways in Tamil Nadu. So this is a step taken by the Southern Railways to prevent any kind of accidents like the one that happened at Villupuram. And also safety at the MRTS also was raised, and they said that separate policemen have not been deployed as of yet for the MRTS stretch, but however policemen from the nearby police stations are patrolling the MRTS stretch so that any kind of accidents do not happen.
All right, thanks very much indeed, Lokpriya, for joining us with all of those details. Now there's also great news coming in for engineering hopefuls in a major relief for the students looking at the 454 engineering colleges in the state. The Madras High Court today said that the new AICTE norms can be adopted from the next academic year. This means that colleges which have applied for renewal of approval, new courses, additional intake before the 31st of August 2009 could be granted permission. Meanwhile, the court struck down one clause in the new norms which allows the AICTE to initiate civil and criminal proceedings against colleges which don't comply with their new norms. Meanwhile, the counselling for engineering courses will go uninterrupted.
Because we have more than 1 year time to upload the information as per the new format, there will be no difficulty at all for the institutions to follow the new regulations for the next year. The only problem which these institutions had was the empowering the AICTE to prosecute these institutions even if the slightest mistake is committed by them was bothering all these institutions. Now that His Lordship has held that the penal provision is unconstitutional, there is no problem for these institutions in following the new norms for the next year.
And our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed joined us from the courts and told us what a relief it is for parents and for students alike.
The Madras High Court has said clearly that for all those engineering colleges, out of the 454 engineering colleges which have applied for new courses and additional intakes, the 2006 AICTE norms will apply, and the fresh norms will be applicable only from the next academic year, which is a great relief for not just the engineering colleges, also for the students who have their fingers crossed as the general counseling for engineering starts on July 5th. Already for the special category of students, the counseling for engineering has already started amid confusion, and it's a big relief for the parents and engineering college students. Particularly the new approval norms which are aimed at promoting accountability and transparency of the private engineering colleges are applicable from only the next academic year without causing confusion for the new students. The judge has ruled that way, and this will go. This is not a total relief for the private engineering colleges, as they have to make mandatory disclosures on the fee structure and everything from the next academic year. They have to upload all the details from the in the website of the AICTE from the next academic year, and which means a lot of transparency in engineering education in all the 454 engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu.
On to some political news now. The AIDMK chief, Ms. Jayalalitha, has slammed the DMK for ordering a probe into her tea estates at Kodanadu. She said, and I quote, "The probe is mischievous and politically motivated. The present condition of the 122-year-old factory endangers the lives of the workers there. Therefore, it needs renovation, which is being termed as construction by the DMK government." Now, still ahead on the bulletin, the World Tamil Classical Conference might be over, but corporations' love for the language is still going strong. Find out more on the other side.